I'm a Kennedy, like I know every and anything
JFK?
about that. Yes. Think about that man. That man was out there. He was bringing them in the back door.
He was outside.
He had his side chick singing happy birthday. Obama can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Barack. No. My heart is so full. I cannot believe that this is the final episode of season 1.
Last one, man. But, this whole season went by so quick. And, but, I just really can't wait because I really feel like season 2 is coming. So, I had to throw this on because just let y'all know, we coming.
Ooh. But, if you know me and you've been following me, I could care less about that team and that coach. But anyway, to be clear, I'm your host, Dawn Montgomery.
It's your main man, Freddie B. One more time for the one time.
So, Freddie, Howard University is making headlines. And before we even go deep into this, first and foremost, this is a discussion. We are not experts. You are an HBCU alum, so let me put that out there so you know your experience. I did go to Fort Valley State for 1 full year, and they still should give me an honorary degree. Shouts out to the Wildcats. Anyway.
No, all jokes aside, you probably should now with all what you've done, yeah.
Right, but before we get into that, we're coming from lived experience too. So let's be clear about that. But they're making headlines not for the best reasons. Students are speaking out about surprise tuition bills and asking real questions about where the money is going. One of the biggest things that we've talked about consistently throughout this entire season is just the lack of resources and just money in general, especially when we started talking about HBCU college football and all of that. But now we're talking about academics here, like housing, tuition. Like if the students are asking where the money is, like, is that something where universities are not making the mark and being transparent about where the money is going?
I think it's such a multi-layered experience. Like I said, I went to Tennessee, like you mentioned, I went to Tennessee State University, HBCU, and we have our whole situation with like money, and this because like the state has shorted us money because you had 2 different land grant things that happened with PWIs and HBCUs that happened back in the 1800s, and that was designed to allocate money from the state level to different universities, and for this whole past century, we haven't been getting our money. We like shorted like 9 figures.
$1 trillion.
Right, 9 figures, and if not more. And when you talk about all that money that we should have, that goes to resources on campus. And so then you have a shortfall. But I think also you have the alumni network. Like when you go to school, you graduate, you have the donors, you have the boosters that these other schools have. But then you just have that dearth of wealth. I think black people only have like 1.4% of the wealth that white people have, even though we 14.2-ish% of the population. Right. That's a big difference. And you talk about the wealth accumulation, because you can only give back to your school if you have extra wealth to give back to school.
Well, I mean, we see a lot of people flossing now, so it's kind of like you can give up paying for a bag or two, and
people be flossing, but they shouldn't be flossing. Some people they supposed to pay a light bill, but they put the light bill on Klarna and then went and bought a Gucci bag, and it's like
Afterpay.
Right, exactly. Like, chief.
Right, but NBC reported the student complaints about unexpected tuition increases and the lack of transparency. I will say that this past weekend, just by default, I have seen the most Howard students like on TikTok explaining what they're going through, what they're needing, all of the things. Matter of fact, there was a young lady, like if we're making this about HBCUs abroad, there's a young lady that's at Spelman, shouts out to Taylor, who is raising funds for her senior year. She needs to take care of some, housing related things and things like that. And like I amplified her GoFundMe and all the things. At this point, you did point out like the alumni network, right? Like how can we have a larger conversation about the financial strain at HBCUs and how funding compares to predominantly white institutions, but also get our alumni to kind of donate more or figure out ways to pour into these students to make sure that from year to year, we're not hearing more and more of these stories. Because to me, I feel like this is a huge influx at this point, right? That a lot of people are literally online saying what they need, and people are trying to give $5, $10, $20 where they can, but everybody's struggling, right? So it's kind of like, how do we help the students and make sure that they can get their degrees or housing that they need, and then also take care of ourselves?
Yeah, I think some of it is also related to kind of what we talked about last week with the Ralph Lauren and the Actively Black, that whole deal, like different Black-owned businesses. I think that we have to also be cognizant of how we approach Black-owned businesses, because a lot of times we approach Black-owned business with a level of like perfection. Like, oh, this
Right.
went wrong. Like, oh, that's why I don't support
So
black
you're
owned
saying
business.
that we're doing that with HBCUs?
No, what I'm saying is like if we have more like successful black owned businesses, maybe some of them like have like some like different like group things where they're giving back to, you know, like the HBCU
So
they
some
went
of
to,
these
stuff
black
like that.
billionaires need to be given some money consistently.
I mean, definitely shout out to what's his name that paid
Robert
for
Smith.
Robert Smith. Robert Smith, he paid for like
Took
a
care of
whole
Morehouse,
yeah.
Them babies came out of there with no debt.
Exactly, that's a good look.
And it's like if you have the ability to do that, you need to do that. Like it's almost like I know that there was like this announcement of there's going to be a soon to be trillionaire, but the fact is like, how do you have that? How have you been able to accumulate that much money to where you're not giving back enough or equal or because like even like what's her name? Mackenzie, lady that was married to Bezos, her.
Oh, Mackenzie Bezos.
She gives out it almost at max, like as much money as she has made or she has come out of that divorce or what have you in donations. And to me, I'm like, where are our people that are doing that, right? Like,
yeah. I think she's planning to give away like half of her fortune that she got, like I think like 40-something billion. Half of it she trying to give away. So you know,
and I just would like to see more of us like that have the resources, have the money. Because also another thing is even if you don't want to give money directly like towards scholarships or towards, you know, tuition, housing has always been a consistent issue with our HBCU students and things like that. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, but it's, like I said, it's a multi-layered thing that, you know, I mean, we could really go deep down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But another group that's got a multi-layered situation going on is, you know, you love them. I'm assuming the Obamas.
That has nothing to these segues that we need clips of every segue that makes no sense.
You'll clip together Freddie B's segues.
The segues. Okay, the Obamas. Yes, I do love the Obamas. I mean, Michelle and Barack Obama teamed up on her latest IMO podcast to directly squash those divorce rumors. And I kind of went viral because I was like, that man said, keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Right.
Because he showed up and crossed them legs and got everybody together. You know what I'm saying?
He definitely, he's cool as the other side of the pillow.
On the other side.
He cool as a fan.
Other side of the pillow. Okay. So Michelle kind of stated, she was like, there hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting on my man. My man.
I think I might got some unpopular opinions, but go ahead.
Anyway, but in general, like hearing her say something like that, why is it that people feel as if they have to hold these black power couples or celebrity couples? Because I mean, we've talked about, you know, other people throughout this entire season, but why is it that the standard is so much more higher, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where if they hear, so probably to kind of counter what you're probably going to say, she was coming out and she was saying some things, Michelle, let me be clear, about where she was in her marriage or how things were happening. And I think a lot of people just wanted to think the negative versus actually hearing her truth, right? And I think the beauty of that is when you do have Barack come on the show and he's just like, yeah, no, we're good. You know how he said,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like
it's one of those. You tried to do Obama. You like, we're good. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
I feel like I don't feel like they needed to do that, but I know why they did it.
Yeah, because the thing is, the Obamas are a brand now. Obama is a brand. That's like a brand like Nike, Amazon.
Yeah.
Obama is a brand. And the thing is them saying they never once thought about divorce, that is some BS. I don't believe that for a second. Because here's the thing, and I think that's problematic.
I actually believe her.
I think that's problematic as well because it is okay. Like real relationships are designed in having disagreements and superseding them. Like it's not a real relationship. Like, oh, we've never had a disagreement. You're not saying nothing good. Okay. That's like y'all are individuals.
But what
individuals bump heads?
Right. But what if in those moments both of them knew what their plan was? They had this goal. They had these things that they were trying to accomplish together. So divorce was never a part. Like it was never on the table. It's just like, no, we have to figure this out, right? And I think that's an honest thing because there are couples out there where they're like, nope, I'm in this till the wheels fall off.
Well, I think it's
till the wheels fall off.
So to what you said, divorce. I think it's two things: divorce being on the table and never thinking about divorce. Because she said she never thought about divorce. Now, divorce being on the table.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting on my man. That doesn't mean divorce.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I think I would say every married couple, if you've been married long enough, there's been a time where in your like, bruh, I don't know if I can do this no more. Bruh.
My ex-husband will kill if he get in the comments, he could be like, you know.
Right. We might need to get him in the But I think they thought about I think it's okay.
But I also think because she's been very transparent in how they have dealt with their difficulties and like, you know, even transgressions or whatever they've had in their marriage, I believe her because if you're a woman who's determined to be like, okay, I know what our goals are. I know why I love this man. I know why we built what we have. At the end of the day, you're not going to think along those lines about quitting on somebody because you want to see this go further. You want to see it grow. You want to see it do the thing that it's supposed to do. So I believe her. You know, shouts out to Michelle. You know what I'm saying?
Last thing I want to say on this is, I think to your point when you were saying like why they got to be held to this level of perfection, what I want to say is a lot of that is on black people.
Oh, okay.
The reason why I say that is because black people have put the Obamas on a pedestal. Like they are hot. They're almost like the pantheon of married couples. And you got to understand, like with them, any shake, any in the armor is like, oh, it's a big thing. And it's also like, you know, cutting the head off the snake, to use that euphemism, or
what?
Or crown, like taking the head off.
Gotcha.
You think about people who want to see the downfall of black people.
Right.
They want to shake the thing.
Okay, you're
like
getting
what?
there.
What do?
You.
You sow seeds of discontent with the Obamas, because that's like black, like royalty. Like if something go wrong with them, then black people everywhere like, well, hold on, wait, like Obama's failed. Like, shoot, ain't no hope for us.
Okay.
I think we got to humanize people. Understand Barack and Michelle are people just like us. There's nothing special about them, and they are fine. I love Michelle. Okay. I love me some Michelle. Okay. But they just regular people. If they have issues, that's okay.
Right.
Like they humans.
And I think that's why I do believe her in her saying that she did not think about quitting on her man. But to your point, if I bring in the Kennedys, because if anybody knows me, I'm a Kennedy like I know and anything about that. Yes. Think about that man. That man was out there. He was bringing them in the back door.
He was outside.
He had his side chick singing happy birthday. Obama can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Barack. No. Like, to me, I'm just like... when I look at the Kennedys and the things that they could get away with back then and now how the Obamas are treated, I'm just like, no, give them a little room. Give them a little space.
I mean, look
you know what I'm talking about?
Look, Obama compared to...
Give them a little...
Obama wore a tan suit, and that was the biggest thing. It was like, oh my God.
We're not going to do that.
Trump,
anyway.
look at what Trump has done.
All right. Anyway, black power couples are held to an impossible perfection. Make one parent misstep, and it's like it's national news of a broken home. Anyway, so
it's like being black in America compared to being Caucasian in America are like two different experiences. Like you got to be tight on your stuff, and even then, it's still not enough.
I'm gonna be tight. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna apologize for it when I need to apologize for it. But
I would love for it to be like
we are
that.
human. You said that.
Very, very true. But one thing that ain't tight is that T-app. That T-app ain't been tight with they
It's the way you say it. We're here. It's the end.
No, you just freaky. That's all that is.
This is the okay.
You just...
but anyway, let's get into the T-app, which was supposed to protect women by letting them anonymously report red flags about men, and it just got hacked. Over
like Ashley Madison.
Why would you bring that website up? Over 1.6 million users are on there, and hackers grabbed 72,000 images, including 13,000 selfies and photo IDs from older accounts. So this has been there. The company says emails and numbers weren't exposed, but still, is this app done for? What do you think?
I don't think it's done for. I mean, because the thing is, I just heard about this app like last week I've been inundated with it. But I mean, I don't think it's done for. Cause I think if T dies, then somebody else will come up with another app. But when I heard about it,
Reddit.
Huh?
I thought it was a Reddit thread or something.
Reddit?
I was like, a T app? Y'all talking about Reddit? Like,
what can Reddit threads be people, like protected?
But no. I didn't know. So I was like, I don't really be on Reddit, but I see it. So I was like, okay, well, if they're out here telling people, and I was like, oh, they're on Reddit.
Yeah,
No,
no,
that's
I,
not it.
yeah, that
That's
makes
not
sense.
it.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I think an app like this, like when I heard this, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, this is the difference between men and women. This is why we need to appreciate the differences between men and women. Men been doing this for forever.
Oh,
We just
God,
never had
here
no
we
app.
go.
We just never got
you
no
know
app. We ain't got
what?
like an app we go on and do all that.
Anyway.
But where am I wrong?
The app's purpose is
You
to
see
protect
what happened
women,
to the ladies?
protect women,
They
but
leaking
now
all y'all
women
pictures now.
are recording and sharing what's said, which could expose and harm those giving honest information. Some women are even posting their own man to see if he's cheating. It's turning into chaos instead of a safe space. Baby,
That's
just post that
insane.
man on TikTok. Just post that man on TikTok. We gonna find out in 25
Right.
minutes, less than 25 minutes, maybe not even that long. Give him 60 seconds.
I heard about this. I was like, this is insane. Like women get on there, they messing they happy home up.
Lord.
Like what are y'all looking for?
But
like,
here's
what does your
so-
grandma
so-
say?
so
if
y'all-
you go looking for trouble, you'll find it.
Right, but so y'all can find community and talking about what's wrong with women to each other.
What
But
you talking
y'all can, men.
And what? Give me
But
an
y'all
example.
can't sit up here and find community and support how women gotta protect themselves.
Man, what are you saying, Don?
Same thing. You know what I meant. I'm getting there.
Look, all the men out there.
So I had to find something.
Right, yeah. I was like, yeah, you doing a go-go gadget reach right there. I ain't mad at it though. Look, I ain't mad at it. Look.
No.
But no, look, but the thing
Go
is,
ahead.
men out there, we know.
Okay, I'ma let 'em
We
have
know,
this,
like
y'all.
men, like
I'ma let
you know,
'em
you
have
got your
this.
girl, you go somewhere, and as a guy, you see a girl, you like, oh snap, she was like the crew meet for a minute. But you know, you go up to your
know
guy,
what?
and you
I
be like, yo,
tried.
so like that's your
I really
girl.
tried.
Like what
I
y'all
really
doing? Like
tried.
that's your girl, or that's just a little
Ladies,
something.
get in the comments because I
That's
tried.
just, and you
I
know, you
tried.
ask
I tried
them,
to find
and then
something.
if the dude be like, "No, this is my girl," like we gonna get married, dude be like, "Hey, no, let me holler at you. Let me holler at you real quick. Let me let you."
That's not what y'all do. So
Yes, we do.
No, y'all don't.
Y'all getting on apps and like,
So here's the
why
thing.
would you do all this, women?
So, but think about
Ladies.
it. So think about it though. Like I think what this means for women is finding that community of support and protection, right? Because we don't necessarily have that, right? And then two, what we're realizing too, you know, when people make their little hard launches on social, no matter what platform it is, 9 times out of 10, somebody coming out, creeping in. Hey, is that your girl or your man? Like, hey, they was just talking to me last week, or hey, we just had, you know, no, like they needed an outlet. Like I don't see anything wrong with that.
Well, I
but
mean,
I
also-
do think the app is done. If I say that.
Also, the thing is this also an issue with them guys' privacy. Like y'all, you just posting my pictures and posting my information.
y'all
I just went on a
shouldn't be
date with
messy.
you. Like this is insane. Like
Y'all shouldn't be messy.
And then if you date the guy and you feel like you got to put his picture on there, maybe you should like either you got issues or he been doing a whole bunch of stuff that been shaking in the relationship, and you should just leave. Just leave the relationship. Like this ain't difficult.
but also too,
But you probably don't want to leave because you. And I get
You
it.
know what?
I get it.
Bring it back in. So I'm losing this.
I get it.
So the biggest thing to me.
You never have to lie to a woman. She'll lie to herself, fellas. Some of y'all know this. Go ahead.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm gonna let you have that because it is what it is. But I feel like
I'ma
y'all got
take it.
something out there that we don't know nothing about yet. And if you know, please comment in the comments
we
what
just
the
talk.
app is called.
Real dudes, we just talk. We just talk to each
Whatever.
other. We just have conversations.
Anyway.
Yeah, we just have conversations.
Anyway, so normally, you know, this is something that technically happens in the beginning of the episode when we have guests and things like that. But I think this is a good way to end the season because we've been very intentional on prioritizing mental health, wealth, all the things. And I just want to know, like, how are you doing? We're 12 episodes in. We're down to the last of the season. How are you feeling mentally?
I mean, I'm feeling better than when I started, you know, because like anytime I encounter a project, like a lot of people, they see me on stage and I'm like doing my thing, and I mean, I'm sure you know, like when you like people see you do stuff and people think that you're just unwavering and you're just
Like,
good,
no.
like you're just killing it, but people don't know all the stuff that's going on in your mind. And so with me, like I'd be insanely nervous. You know, I'm like nervous. I'm thinking. I'm like, my mind is just going.
Right.
You know, to where like a lot of time I can't sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so yeah, like beginning the season, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm going to this new thing, and you know, I want to be great. I want to make sure I land everything, and it's like I can't sleep. I'm thinking
Right,
about all these
right,
things
right,
on
right, right.
how to contribute, how to make sure.
Right.
So you know, but as I go, I kind of see like the space I can land, and like, oh, this is my space. This is you know what I'm here for. This is what this is my
owned it.
purpose, and doing all that, and then I can kind of relax, and then now I know like, okay, be more efficient. in what I'm doing. Because initially it's just like a lot of energy just flying everywhere, and it's so inefficient.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, I got to make sure all my bases are covered, all my T's are crossed, and my I's are dotted, if you will. So, but yeah, you know, as it goes on, it's like, okay, all right, okay, I got a workflow.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, then, you know, like I said, you know, and then also building chemistry. It's like, okay, learning you and like, okay, your little things and like watching you and like, okay, Dawn doing this now, so I know, okay, let me come over here and you know, it's just like, because I play sports. And that's the thing, when you play sports, you learn people's, you know, mannerisms. Like, okay, when he look up, I need to run, and I'm gonna jump and catch the oop. I need to do this, you know, type deal. So.
Yeah, because I think one of the biggest things for me is I agree with you on, I feel a whole lot different than I did when we started. I was nervous. But I think also the thing that we had that you can't fake is the chemistry and our ability to adapt to each other's, you know, mannerisms, our behaviors, our thoughts, and, you know, just all the things, and having that connection. So I'm extremely grateful that the team actually listened to me when we got to you in the auditions. It was like, no, this is him. This is the man. So that blended out perfect. It was amazing. We didn't have to fake anything. And I think a lot of times when you're watching some of these shows, you can see that it is scripted. Like, the only thing that is technically scripted for us is kind of like the topics or the things that we have. But even then, it's like we don't necessarily talk beforehand to kind of know which point of view either one of us is coming from. So it's very unfiltered in a sense, you know? So, and I love that. And I love that we've done a great job in not wanting to prioritize clicks, you know, or the type of rage and engagement type of deal. We've been very clear this entire season on topics, and we've given space to people to comment, to give us, you know, information. Like, even like when we talked about real estate wills, estate planning, advanced health directives, all of that in that previous episode. Literally, there was a student, I want to give him a shout out. His name is Dijon Stokes. He literally commented on how, if anybody can't afford to get their will and stuff taken care of, you can go find a local law school, and there are law students that can help you with that. Like, that's a part, like, they have a clinic for that. Like, to give that type of information out, and I didn't know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's crazy. Like, I didn't know that, but I did know, like, you can go to the local dental school and get like, if you don't have money, you can go so, like get filler cavities, all that stuff.
Like, to have this show be a resource or something that if you're paying attention to the comments, you're gonna find something in there that's either going to inform you or it might upset you, you know, but be clear, like, we don't want everybody fighting. But I think the beauty of that is it's still entertaining. It's still real. It's still authentically us. So I'm grateful that I had this experience with you, because I'm like, I don't want it to end. I'm like, can we get like 2 more episodes or something? You know,
make it long. Yeah, but one thing I would say, you know, like for me and ever.
No, too much.
But I mean, one thing I would say for people out there is definitely like, listen, man. You know, and listening is more than just listening to people talking. Listening is body language. You know what I mean? How people move and stuff like that. I think that helps a lot of different things when you talk about, you know, even from interaction with people, like consent and just any interaction you have with somebody, you know, if you're listening and, like I said, not just what they're saying, what they're doing, you know what I mean? Getting to feel, like, paying attention to the person, like, you can tell, like, little cues, and, you know, and people will talk to you, and just being receptive and really thinking about, like, if you were in a situation, like, how would you feel? That's what I really try to do with myself. Like, how would I feel if somebody was doing this to me, and then try to reciprocate that to the person and just really listen. And so that's what I definitely try to do, and try to come into it with also making sure that I'm ready as well, like doing different things. And like I said, you know, initially having that, like, you know, I think we all deal with imposter syndrome because of Melissa Ford in the previous episode. She talked about that. And, you know, coming in like, okay, like, boom, it's big. And I've done a lot and I've done so much, but I always come into places like, you know, am I good enough?
Right.
And so, you know, it's like, okay, try to do the work.
There's nothing wrong with having doubt. I mean, you can come into this like, you know, this podcast went through a name change, and I was fighting for that name. I was like, oh no.
I remember.
But the thing was, it was like, wait a minute, we on something. Like, go with it. Like, be able to listen to your team and all of the people, because there's so many people that we need to thank. Like, I mean, we've got Kobe's right there, like Tiara, Bianca, Trigger, Taquita's back there. Hey Arnold for this
Compton,
this
what up?
dress because we have to give it to the girls at the end.
Y'all zoom
You
in?
know, Travis is here. Compton, Cash,
Aisha. Gotta shout out Aisha.
Hassan, Joy Gill for sure. Like
Yeah,
it's
Joy Gill.
like
Adrian.
Brianna,
Dren, AD.
Taylor. I'm trying to think of who else. What's his name? Javon. Hassan. I already said Hassan.
Brianna, we said Brianna?
We said Brianna.
Okay.
Bianca. We said Bianca too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, Trigger again. Okay, we doing it again. So it's like everybody. It's just been a lot, and I'm extremely grateful. I think for me, my inner child is extremely happy just because I've always been behind the scenes. I've always been a co-host, or I've always helped develop things. But to be upfront and visible, this was a lot for me, and I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I mean, even Roy mentioned that. Like, it was like, Dawn, you were scared to do this. Yeah, I was scared to do this, but I've embraced it, and I think it's gonna continue to grow, and I love that. I love that ability to kind of deal with that fear, face that doubt, and to really prove yourself to yourself wrong. Like literally, it's like it's okay to have that doubt. And then I had a lot of mom guilt in this process too. Like I'm traveling almost every weekend, so kind of making sure that I'm still connected with my kids. So shouts out to my kids, shouts out to my caretakers, to my family that always looks out for my kids, like my village. You have made this possible for me, Greg, TT, my ex-husband Reginald, who is their father. Like, thank you everybody for everything. And
Shout out to my future wife and my future children.
This man. And with that, we say, see you next time.
It's so hard. Guys, if you get lonely, follow us on TikTok. We got a TikTok too. Hit us up on TikTok. And also, you hit _ Don Montgomery on all the stuff. Freddie BTV. Y'all can holler at us. Hit us up, and we gonna be back. You know what I mean? And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
And shout out to Okayplayer family. And
That's
bye.
Bye, please.